For you all graduating, it's the first for me giving a speech in an audience like this. So I really appreciate it. And when I prayed to God and I said, hey, what do I do here? He said, no, you've been through a lot. I've given you storms, I've given you victories, and what you have inside of you, you need to let the kids know. And so today, the words that I bring to you are from my heart, it's from my experiences. And I know I'm pretty sure they told you all to put your phones up. But I would like you to take your phones out so you can take some notes. Because there's three main parts that I want to give to you. And I want you to write them down so you can leave here. Because I graduated, and I remember that was 27 years ago. I don't know what the speaker talked about. But I want y'all to leave today with a few nuggets that I'll have to give to you. Okay, so we're going to start with point number one. Point number one is dream. But do not make dreams your master. Dreams are amazing, and having dreams and goals are very, very important in your life. In fact, dreams provide us with a sense of purpose. It gives us motivation, and your dreams that you have today is going to give you direction for where you want to go in your life. As I mentioned a little bit over 27 years ago, I sat in the same seat just like you. Same material with the cap and gown on, same smile on my face, same questions going through my head, concerns, anxieties. I felt just how you felt today. I've been exactly where you've been. And I remember on that graduation day and leading up to the graduation, as I told people my graduation was coming up, everybody asked the same questions. What are you getting ready to do? Are you going to college? What do you want to be now that you're finished with school? It was the same questions. And in fact, with a straight face and with confidence, I could answer those questions with complete conviction. You know why? Because I had dreams. Anytime someone asked me what I was going to do, I looked them straight in the face and I said, you know what? I'm going to college. I'm going to get a degree in business. I'm going to own my own business, most likely a nightclub or a sports agency. And I told them, you know what? I'm probably not going to get married. And I'm not sure I want kids, but I want to travel, and that's what I wanted to be. And you see, I could easily answer those questions because I had big, big dreams. And I believe those dreams were going to happen exactly how I wanted them to happen. You see, most of my childhood, I was raised by my mom. My dad wasn't always there, and I'll explain that a little bit later. And so some of my dreams and some of my ambitions were kind of wrapped around, I know it sounds funny, but TV characters. Anybody know who Eddie Murphy is, youngsters? All right. So back in 1992, Eddie Murphy came out with this movie called Boomerang. And in Boomerang, he portrayed a business guy. And he was a big exec. He was suited and booted. He drove a Mercedes-Benz. He lived in a beautiful condo. He dated beautiful ladies. And I know it sounds funny, but that movie sort of changed my life, and it helped create the dream of what I wanted to be because my dad wasn't there. So I didn't have a man to groom me and help me find that direction. So my dream was to dress up in suits and have that corner office and have that high rise and get the Benz and date the women. That was my dream. That was the dream that I felt when I was 18 years old, sitting here with my cap and gown on. Well, semi-update, I did graduate from college, as he mentioned. I got my degree in business marketing from Texas State. However, my first job coming out of college wasn't owning or even working in a club or a sports agency. In fact, I was selling printers and copiers. My first car wasn't a Benz. In fact, first car I bought by myself without my mom's help was a great Toyota Camry. I wanted to live, remember, downtown in a luxury condo. Well, good news is, when I finished college, I was living downtown, but I was living with my two friends on their floor in that condo. What I learned during that time at the age 22 to 23, and what I want you all to understand is dreams are important. And they do inspire us, and they give us direction. But we can't make dreams our master. And you may say, well, why am I saying that? Because if dreams are your master, once things do not go as planned, or your dream is just off target somehow, you may throw in the towel. You may look in the mirror and say, I failed, I quit, I can't do this. Well, no, you cannot feel that way. You got to keep on going on, because things will change. After 2 years of selling copiers and sleeping on floors, I didn't lose hope in my dreams. I just knew and accepted, while I'm chasing my dream, I still got to live. I still got to eat. I got to pay bills. I got to show up to work no matter what and give all I can. Because this is the opportunity right now God has put before me. And I know if I can't be trusted with little, I won't be trusted with more. Let's fast forward to today. 27 years after I graduated. Remember, I wanted to be a business owner when I was 18. Well, today I own 2 commercial cleaning franchises, one in San Antonio, also Killeen, Texas. I own 4 donut and coffee franchises y'all may have seen at your school before. You Donut Envy, have y'all had the donuts before? I own that. So my dream has come along, but it's came along differently than what I expected to be. I wanted to live in that condo downtown. Well, now I live in a 5-bedroom, 4,000 square foot house here in San Antonio, but I do have a house downtown in Fredericksburg, Texas. I wanted the Benz like Eddie Murphy drove. I do got a Benz, and I got a few other cars. I wanted an office downtown. I do own an office right outside of downtown. I wanted to be single with no kids. Well, God said no to that. I'm married with 4 amazing kids, with the most beautiful, smartest woman he could have blessed me with. They're actually sitting right there. The point I'm making is, I'm happy and I've been blessed. But it didn't happen exactly how I dreamed. But it happened exactly how it should have. My dreams inspired me and gave me inspiration, but I did not allow my dreams to be the master of me and the master of my life and my future. If I would have allowed the dreams that I had at 18 to be the master of me, I would have lost out on those beautiful kids, on that lovely wife. I would have never owned a commercial cleaning business. Can you imagine if no one here, you all may want to be a business owner, but I guarantee you, part of your dream is not owning a commercial cleaning business right now. But I would have been closed off to that, okay? Some of you are sitting here today with ambitions and dreams. Some of you are dreaming of being doctors, lawyers, soldiers, barbers, TikTok stars, and rappers, and teachers, and so on. And it's all possible. But don't let your dreams hold you back from your destiny. Your plans and God's plans won't always align. And when they don't align, whose plan do you think is going to win? My money will be on God. Point number 2. It's not time for a break. It's time for you to get moving. I remember so many of my friends on graduation day when me or my buddies come to them and say, hey, what are you going to do now? Right? I knew they wasn't going to college, and I can still hear their voices in my head today saying, man, I've been in school for 13 years. I need a break. And then I'll figure out later on what I want to do. Well, guess what? 27 years later, most of them are still living at home with their parents, playing video games, watching TikToks, and they're still on that break trying to figure out what they want to do. Can I get a show of hands of any of the graduates that are here tonight that your plan and your dream is to stay at home for the next 5 years and try to figure out what you want to do? Can I get a hand for any of the parents who your dream for your kids is to sit at home for the next 5 years and let them figure out what they want to do? I don't see any hands raised. So what I will say to you is don't do it. Parents, I plead to you because I've seen it. Don't allow your kids to stop and stand still in life. Kids, I'm telling you, don't settle for that type of life for yourself. You got to stay active. You got to stay active to get ahead in life. And if you truly think about it, it's not that hard. You've been moving forward all of your life. From daycare to elementary, from elementary to middle school, from middle school to high school. And then now you think all of a sudden there's a magical stop sign in your life after today's ceremony? No. Keep moving forward to whatever your next is. College, trade school, military, real estate, firefighter, police. It doesn't matter what it is. And you don't have to have it all figured out. There's no straight line in life. It's curvy. Bunch of twists and turns. But the thing is, it has to move forward regardless. When you have momentum and you stay active, life will naturally have a way of figuring itself out. And I know some people in here are thinking, well, a break isn't bad in the back of your head. In the back of your head, you may be thinking that. Well, there's nothing wrong with a little break, and you're right. And there's a few breaks that I can think of that are positive breaks. When you leave here today, you go get a job, a lunch break. When you leave here, you go to college, a spring or a summer break. If you're in a bad relationship, it sounds like the valedictorian got a good one, but if you're in a bad relationship, a breakup. Those are the only breaks that I can think of that are positive breaks at this point in your life. There's no break when it comes to progression in life if you want to be successful. I did some research and I could not believe this number. There's around 4 million kids that will graduate from high school in the United States this year. 4 million. Think about that. That's your future competition for jobs. And some of them will have what we probably don't have, the majority of us don't have, which is rich parents, parents with connections. You talk about momentum, those kids have momentum, and they got a head start in life that's almost truly unfair. And that's why we can't allow ourselves to get further behind and take a so-called break. In fact, you not only have to get moving, you got to move at a pace to catch up with those type of people. So it's not time for a break. It's time for you to get moving at a good speed. Last point, and I'll let you go. You got to live a life of no excuses. It's the third point I want you to put in your notes. I grew up on the east side of San Antonio until high school. Most of my family at that time was considered lower class. My dad spent most of my childhood in prison or in drug rehabs. Me and my siblings were primarily raised by my wonderful mother with one income. I did something stupid my senior year in high school. I got in trouble with the police, went out with my football friends, and we actually stole some tennis shoes, ended up getting probation my senior year of high school. No one in my family had ever been to college or received any type of degrees. My mom worked hard, but she didn't have a true college savings account or plan to pay for college. So think about these numbers. I'm a young man of color, raised by a single mother, and now I have a little criminal background, and I don't have any money for school. It's safe to say the odds of success were not in my favor at that point. And it would be fair if I decided to just throw in the towel and accept the bare minimum life. I think most people would have understood if I had just given up right then at 18 years old. And I'm sure many of you may have similar stories or your own version of your story. But I encourage you, from my own experiences, to be strong and live an excuse-free life. And you may be thinking, how's that possible, right? It's not easy, it's hard. I've been through so much emotionally that it hurts. And you're right, it does. But you do it by reversing the curse. What others may see as a handicap, you make your strength. You see, seeing my dad in and out of prison and addicted to drugs encouraged me to never want to be in that position in my life and stay away from drugs. No excuses. Seeing how hard it was for my mom to wear so many hats and work so hard and take care of me and my siblings pretty much on her own encouraged me to want a balanced home and have a household with two parents. No excuses. Seeing that we didn't have money for college encouraged me at the age of 18 to go to the campus, meet with my college advisors, get as much information on grants and loans, and that's how we pay for college. But now I have a college savings plan for my kids. No excuses. Getting in that trouble my senior year encouraged me to never do anything to tarnish my name or my character ever again. No excuses. Being the first in my family with a college degree encouraged me to keep going on when things got rough, because I knew I had my siblings under me looking at me. Now all three of my siblings have now completed college. In fact, my sister has her doctorate from UCLA. No excuses. Whatever's going on in your life or that's happened in your life that you could possibly make an excuse, make it your encouragement in this next chapter of your life. You are strong, you're smarter, and you can endure and handle more than you can ever imagine. God made you great, and he made you in his image, which makes you powerful people. I'm so excited for you all. Life awaits you. Go dream, but don't make dream your master. Get moving, because there's no breaks in life. And live a life of no excuses. You got this. Have a blessed day.